Good to have you on Models and Agents, episode 116 for July 19th, 2026. There's signal and noise in AI every day. Let's get to the signal. Perplexity's new WANDR benchmark forces research agents to hunt wide and deep with verifiable citations, exposing where current systems still fall short. Perplexity released WANDR as an open benchmark with 500 evidence-heavy tasks. The evaluation requires agents to surface many qualifying entities and back each one with cited, re-verifiable evidence. Perplexity search as code currently leads with 0.363 soft F1 and 0.133 hard F1. The benchmark penalizes shallow or uncited results and rewards thorough evidence collection. Builders working on long-horizon research agents now have a public yardstick that measures the wide and deep behavior most existing evals ignore. Watch for teams to publish WANDR scores alongside GIA and Web Arena numbers in the coming weeks. Claude Code is already shipping the unreleased Rust rewrite of Bun for faster runtime. NVIDIA DeepStream 9.1 adds 13 agentic skills and multi-view 3D tracking. A new ASCII diagram benchmark shows Gemma 431 BIT at 73.8%. 3 open trillion-scale mixture of experts models now have direct benchmark, license, and serving cost comparisons. 10 open-source no-code platforms for LLM apps, RAG, and agents were just cataloged with verified licenses. Perplexity AI released WANDR as an open benchmark and evaluation harness containing 500 tasks. Each task tests whether research agents can locate numerous qualifying entities, rather than stopping at the first few hits. The harness supplies a concrete new signal on citation quality that teams can track alongside prior benchmarks. This development fits the ongoing arc for agents and tool use covered last on episode 115. Reliability of long-horizon agents remains a key open question, and WANDR supplies measurable data on citation performance. A new benchmark called ASCI Term Draw-Bench evaluates vision language models on ASCII generation and editing. It contains 80 tasks across basic layouts, network topologies, software architecture diagrams, and image-conditioned editing. Gemma 431 BIT leads at 73.8% with a plus or minus 4.1 interval. Quen 3.7 Plus follows at 70.2%, and Kimi K 2.6 sits at 61.8%. The full task set, 12 example tasks, and evaluation code are available on Hugging Face. 3 open trillion-scale mixture of experts models received a side-by-side comparison on benchmarks, licenses, and serving cost. The post supplies concrete numbers for measured intelligence, MIT versus modified MIT licensing, and per-token inference pricing. Builders evaluating open frontier class models can now review the cost columns before committing to any of the 3 families. This comparison continues the tracked story for open-weight models covered last on episode 115. The performance gap with closed systems and the practical impact of licensing choices remain central open questions. Anyone running Claude Code is already executing against the unreleased Rust rewrite of Bun. 2 simple terminal commands reveal the Rust build in use without any additional installation steps. The change improves startup and runtime performance for the coding agent without any user action required. This update sits within the agents and tool use arc covered last on 2026-07-18. The Rust rewrite represents a concrete infrastructure improvement that may reduce latency for code generation workflows. NVIDIA released DeepStream 9.1 with 13 agentic skills. The skills let coding agents such as Claude Code and Codex generate multi-camera video analytics pipelines from natural language prompts. Multi-view 3D tracking fuses per-camera detections into one globally consistent 3D world with stable object IDs across views. AutoMagic Calib removes manual camera calibration entirely. The release adds Jetpack 7.2 support and consolidates everything into a single open-source GitHub monorepo. A roundup lists 10 open-source no-code and low-code platforms for building LLM apps, RAG systems, and AI agents. Each entry includes verified license, repository link, and recommended use case. Teams that prefer visual builders over writing orchestration code can now pick from a documented set of maintained options. The post emphasizes retrieval, agents, and workflows that now ship as visual or plain English tools. Builders gain immediate access to options that handle retrieval, agents, and workflows without custom orchestration code. The catalog covers platforms suited for production-grade RAG or agent systems that non-engineers can operate directly. A step-by-step Colab notebook walks through fine-tuning Qwen 3 with LoRa using NVIDIA NeMo Auto Model. The workflow covers installing NeMo Auto Model from source, loading the official Qwen 3 0.6b LoRa recipe, and adjusting precision and scheduler settings for a single GPU. Training launches via the Auto Model CLI, followed by comparison of base versus fine-tuned outputs. The workflow ends with the NeMo Auto Model for Causal LM Python API for further customization. Builders with limited hardware can now follow a verified single GPU path to adapt small QSA3 models. TabFM Studio lets users drop a CSV or Excel file, mark a target column, and run Google's TabFM model directly on the grid without writing code. In-context examples are taken from rows that already contain the target value, while empty rows receive predictions in place. The repo is at WANDR, runs entirely locally, removing any dependency on external APIs for tabular inference. Users mark the target column once, and the system applies the model to the remaining grid rows. Predictions appear inline for any row lacking a target value, using only the local TabFM weights. The point-and-click interface supports both CSV and Excel formats without requiring code edits or external calls. An interactive TSNE visualization of 32,070 alphabetic tokens from GPT-2Small's embedding table is now available. Users can tap any token to see nearest neighbors connected by a minimum spanning tree. The tool runs entirely in the browser with pinch-to-zoom, search, and mobile support. The visualization covers 32,070 tokens drawn from the model's static embedding table. Each tap highlights the minimum spanning tree linking the selected token to its closest neighbors in the projected space. The browser-based viewer supports search and mobile gestures so users can inspect embedding geometry without installing software. Okay, let's pop the hood on token embedding geometry. Everyone treats token embeddings as a fixed lookup table whose nearest neighbors are obvious and stable. In practice, the geometry is shaped by the training objective and the projection method used to inspect it. When coordinates are left continuous, neighbors of Trump include other presidents and family names because magnitude information is preserved. After simple discretization, the same token suddenly sits among generic political terms because the thresholding step discards the very signals that distinguished specific entities. The difference arises because discretization throws away magnitude information that the original training preserved. This adds no runtime cost but changes which analogies surface in embedding-based retrieval or clustering pipelines. The practical takeaway is to test both continuous and thresholded views before deciding which neighbors matter for your downstream task. Run the ASCII term draw-bench tasks on your favorite VLM to see how well it handles precise ASCII layout versus free-form description. Drop a spreadsheet into TabFM Studio and test whether the local tabular model beats your current heuristic rules for the target column. Compare the 3 trillion scale MoE models in the MarkTech post on your own workload using the published serving cost numbers. Try the single GPU Qwen 3 LoRa Colab notebook on a small internal dataset to measure whether the fine-tune beats the base model on your domain. More teams are expected to publish WANDR scores as the benchmark gains adoption among research agent developers. NVIDIA's Open DeepStream monorepo will likely see community contributions of new agentic skills built on the 13-skill foundation. Additional single GPU fine-tuning recipes for other small Qwen 3 variants are likely to appear on Hugging Face in the next week. Tomorrow, keep an eye on early WANDR score reports from additional research_agent teams. That wraps up today's AI briefing. Share this with a developer or builder who wants to stay current. Subscribe wherever you listen. See you tomorrow. And if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at Nera Network. Links in the show notes. One more thing. If you liked today's episode, our sister show Models and Agents for Beginners is worth a spot in your feed. Artificial Intelligence Explained Simply for beginners and curious teens. It's one of the Nera Network's daily briefings, all free at neranetwork.com. The Do Positive Pod is the club for people who do something about it. Episodes and the dispatch wall at neranetwork.com/thedppod. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.